From my perspective, clean energy is a critical issue for three reasons. One, climate change. This is a very, very serious issue in terms of what we're doing to our environment. It's also a very critical economic development issue. There is a global clean energy industry that is developing, and we can either be a customer of it or we can be a supplier of it. It is important for the economic development of our region that we really engage this and that we treat the world as our customer and generate these technologies and businesses. And then lastly, I think it's an economic security question and a national security question for our region and our country. This is the issue, I think, of the century. And I think that Clean Energy Council is a beginning to try to bring this cluster together and to help it to grow and to thrive.
Initially, we could have located ENERNOC anywhere, but we looked and we said New York, California, or somewhere in and around Boston. And we made our choice. It was a no-brainer.
One of the things that makes New England unique in the clean energy space is just the sheer amount of innovation that happens at the universities in this region. Certainly, I would say that we're second to none in the nation in terms of the universities that we can tap into.
Couple that with the entrepreneurial talent that's been here and has been here for the last 25 years since the since the computer industry dawned, and you've got two great components of a vibrant economy. Then the third element obviously is the financial system.
When ENERNOC started, there wasn't a term smart grid. There wasn't a term clean tech investment. We were basically a data company operating in the energy space, and we said that it was clean and sustainable. And now there's a clean tech sector. There's something called the smart grid. There's a whole pool of folks that can actually talk in kilowatts and kilowatt hours and megawatts, and not just in bits and bytes.
The fellowship program is actually a good example of a tool that the council is trying to develop to teach people that don't have a lot of expertise in clean energy technologies about all of the nuances associated with technology, with policy, with economics, with regional ecosystems and that sort of thing. The notion of training people that have been successful in another sector and transitioning those skills into the clean energy sector is a good one, because frankly there's not enough entrepreneurial talent in the region, maybe even in the world, in clean energy technologies. So what do you do to develop that talent?
What also people have to keep in mind is that these companies being created, there are the types of jobs that there are in any company. So you'll see HR, finance, marketing, people with expertise in those areas are needed as well.
The council has been exceptionally supportive and helpful to us in terms of getting us in front of the policymakers that can truly make a difference on both state and federal level.
The council's had a very important role to play in the enactment of new public policies to support clean energy. Just take as one example the significant pieces of legislation enacted in Massachusetts in recent years. 5 major bills, all of them involve significant input from the council, both in terms of organizing its members to speak in favor of those pieces of legislation, but even more importantly in communicating to public officials what that legislation needed to accomplish.
We have to start doing things differently, and that's where the rub is. Getting consensus that to take advantage of this huge opportunity requires us to take action. And that action has costs, one way or the other. But it's short-term costs for huge long-term gain. And the council is great at articulating it, a business articulation of why this is critical.
This is important work we're doing, and important work doesn't come easy. If it's, the fact that it's hard probably means that it's worth doing.